Hello, this demonstration will detail the steps on how to back up all of your picture files on your computer, even if you don't know exactly where those files are located. So this is for the novice user who may not be very tech savvy, as well as an advanced user on Windows that may not necessarily know where all the picture files are stored. So we're going to start this demonstration by clicking on New to create a new backup task. And Fbackup creates a backup wizard from this new window that pops up, and that allows you to kind of walk through a few simple steps to create a backup pertaining to your needs. For this demonstration, I'm going to go down here and click on Advanced Mode. Now don't be alarmed, it's not too much more difficult, but the Advanced Mode does offer me some features that the original backup wizard does not, and that's what we're going to use in this demonstration. So for this first option here under General, we're going to give this backup a name, and I'm going to call this Backup All Pictures. And we have the option here to change the icon so we can select a camera just to identify that this backup job is for pictures. It's not necessary, it's definitely just an option, but it may be easier for you to identify this backup job if you have multiple jobs in the future. The next option is the destination. Where do you want to save your backups to? This may vary depending on your particular environment, whether you have an external hard drive or you have a USB or flash drive plugged into the computer. For myself, I have multiple local hard drives in my computer. So I select this option, then go into the options here and choose the location that I want to save this to. Now I highly recommend that you save this alternately from your C drive. So either have an external drive or an extra hard drive inside your computer to save your data to in the event of a hard drive crash, which I've seen many times. And this just includes the folder inside of the drive. So it's going to save on my F drive. Alright, from there we can jump all the way down to sources. What exactly do we want to back up? Now the Fbackup program has done a really nice job of giving us just a few overview options here, so we could even select My Pictures, which this goes into the Documents and Settings, My Pictures folder under your user profile. This is probably going to back up 90–95% of all your guys' pictures for any given application. Now I say not all of them because depending on the application it may have saved it in a different directory than what this My Pictures chooses. But by default, when you import pictures from your camera or something that you've taken with, they're going to be put in this My Pictures folder. I've shown you that just for your information. Now for this demonstration, I'm going to actually choose files and folders. The reason for that being, if we don't necessarily know where our pictures are and we want to make sure that we capture everything, this is the option that I'm going to choose. So from here I'm going to click Add Folder and just choose the C drive. Microsoft Windows uses the C drive as kind of their default. So all their information and all the program data is stored on the C drive by default. So it's a pretty good bet that if you're not a tech savvy user and you haven't set up any of these applications to save their data in an alternate location, it's going to be on the C drive. So this looks for the entire drive of your computer. The next is the filters option. Now this is where we actually define what types of files that we want to back up. And if I click Add here and say Include, it's going to take me to a new window, and this window is pertaining to a filter that we want to include. I'm going to just give this filter a name called Pictures, which is you can change that to whatever you like. I'm going to check Enable and then Add. This new window is actually the details of what the filter will include. I know it may look a little bit confusing that there's dots and letters and symbols and numbers, kind of weird things going on there, but they're just talking about the extensions that Files and the Windows File operating system has, so that Microsoft can determine what file it is. So you're probably saying, okay, I don't even know what you just said. Alright, well essentially they have this example here, and it's a star, meaning whatever file name is here, .doc. So this is what is called an extension, past the period. And DOC is what Microsoft Office, or Microsoft Word 2003 in particular, has as their file extension. So every single Word document that you've created with Windows 2003 will have this .doc on the end of the file name. Alright, that being said, Fbackup has included several known file extensions in this drop-down list. So what I want to choose is this .jpg, and it's pronounced JPEG. And this is going to account for, I would say, 95, if not 100% of all pictures you're going to have on your computer that you want to save will have this extension. So I'm going to select that and say OK. Now there may be the possibility that there's a few other image file options, and I'm going to include those in this demonstration as well. But you may get a lot of extraneous data like icon files or files downloaded from the internet and pictures that's just something you'll have to filter out later as you get this backup job up and running. But I am going to show those to you in case you're unfamiliar with this process. So the next option is BMP, which stands for bitmap. I'm also going to include GIF images. And lastly, they don't have this included in the drop down, but PNG is another type of image file. And I'm going to select OK. And then you see here that we have the filter name here. It says include any of these files. So it's going to include all those JPEG, bitmap, GIF images, and PNG images. Once that's done, we're going to select the type of backup. I'm just going to say full here. I'm going to leave the compression as standard and non-encrypted. That way I can easily access those files. I'm not going to run any advanced options. And for this demonstration, I'm not going to set a schedule. I highly recommend backing up to a schedule to an external drive, but we'll save that for a later demonstration. So at this time, we can just save the job, and that's where the icon file comes into play, and it's complete. So if you want to back up your pictures, you just click backup here and run the backup job. I'm not going to do that right now because I have several thousand picture files, but you could do that at your leisure, and then you will see all the files that it will make a duplicate of and back up for you. And that concludes this